Hey guys, Suraj is here from Road to Code, and today I will show you what should be the ideal journey of Android developer while learning Android development. Now, first question comes in our mind, which language we should choose. So you can develop native Android apps in any of these languages, but if you are a college student, then definitely go for Java because it is already in your curriculum. So it will be very easy to learn Android development in Java. But nowadays, Kotlin is preferred because it has in own benefits. So after selecting the language for Android development, I will suggest you to install Android Studio. Of course, you can develop Android applications in any of the languages. Whether you choose Java or Kotlin, it's okay. Now, after installing Android Studio, learn how to use it, how to connect your physical device or how to use emulator. And of course, this is the official tool for Android development. After successfully installing it, what you should do? You should learn about activity because it is the very fundamental thing of Android development. Every screen in the application is activity and it has its own life cycle, that is on create, on start, on pause, and so on. And on the basis of these life cycles, you will decide which work should be performed. So first of all, be comfortable with this life cycle stuff of activities. Then start adding UI elements, that is edit text or text view, and similarly buttons, image view. All these UIs you can add by using XML, and there is a toast which you can add programmatically. These are the UIs which makes your activity complete. After learning those UI and activity stuff, I will highly recommend you should develop this simple project, that is dice roller. Simply you need to generate some random numbers 1 to 6, and on the basis of those numbers, if the number is 1, then show the dice with the face on which written 1, and similarly for the 6. If you develop this application at the very early stage of learning Android development, then you will get a confidence and it will help you a lot. And don't forget to share this application with your friends and family members and ask them for their feedbacks, means what kind of improvements they want in this application, and according to that try to change this application, and it will help you a lot. After developing this application, you should go for WebView, shared preferences, and fragments. Now, WebView is not that much important, but what it do, it adds a complete web page inside your application. So you achieve the functionality of browser inside your application, and you can consider it as it adds a web page inside your application. And shared preferences, it is a simple storage or type of database which stores a key value pair. And the fragments, these are similar to activity. By using WebView, shared preferences, and fragment, you can develop a simple browser application which can browse to any website, and when you close it, it will remember the last visited website using shared preferences. So of course these are very easy and important topics of Android development: WebView, shared preferences, and fragments. Then you should go for complex UIs, that is recycler, view pager. In the recycler view, it manages a lot of data in a very efficient manner. Let's say there are thousands of emails in your mailbox, but it will allocate the memory for only those emails which are available on the screen. And keep in mind the one point for recycler view. Recycler view is an entry point to detailed view of your application. It means simple headings and subjects of email will be shown to you. If you click on particular email, then it will show you a detailed view. So these kind of steps you can achieve with the recycler view. Then view pager is also similar to recycler view, but it slides some activities. So it has a different use case. And after that, you need to learn these third party libraries, that is Glide and Picasso. So learn them after learning recycler view and view pager. To load images, of course these both the libraries are similar and useful. You can learn both of them or any of them. They are equally important and very similar to each other. After learning this complex UI, you should develop again one or two projects, that is we can say to-do list or live news. You can develop to-do list in a offline mode only, because it don't need access of any data from internet. So you can develop it in a offline mode only. It is an offline application. But the news live news app, it needs some data from internet, that is current news. So for that purpose you should learn networking. And to learn networking you will need two third party libraries, that is Retrofit and Volley. You can use any of them. They have their own use cases. You can learn any of them. What these libraries will do, it will fetch data from server. These libraries will call to API, and APIs will return data in the form of JSON. And by parsing that JSON, you can show those data inside your application. I will suggest you use APIs of newsapi.org website. Those are freely available APIs and they are beginner friendly also. Okay, so up to this point you will learn a lot in the Android development. After this you should learn notifications, how to build a notifications. There are different type of notifications, you should also be familiar with them. And there is a new feature called as notification channels. So you should also learn about how efficiently you should use notification channels. After this there is a topic of broadcast receivers. This is not oftenly used in Android development, but it is also useful because it triggers when different event happens. For example, charging is plugged in, or earphone is plugged in, or Wi-Fi is on turned on. These kind of stuffs you can receive by broadcast receiver. After learning this you should go for Firebase, and Firebase is a very useful technology and it is also known as BAS. BAS means backend as a service, and means you don't have to type any server side coding. It will do everything for you. It provides a real time database, means you don't have to refresh any UI to access changes in the database. At the same instance it will shown into UI. Many applications you might have seen login with Google, login with Facebook. These kind of authentications you can do using Firebase Auth. You can send notifications from Firebase panel directly to your Android applications, and that process known as push notifications. You can track a crash analytics of your application, and you can store some applications files on the server using Firebase. and all these services are provided by Firebase, and this is very useful tool to develop Android apps without any server side coding. After that, you should learn architectures, and there is one very famous Android development architecture, MVVM, model view model, and you can consider these architectures as a best practices of Android development, because whenever you want to test large applications using automated testing or unit testing or some UI testing like espresso testing, at that time you should definitely use a MVVM, otherwise it will be very hard to test those applications. After doing all this stuff, you can add advertisements into your application by using Google AdMob, and there are three type of advertisements which you can add into your application, that is banner ads, interstitial ads. I will suggest you don't use interstitial ads because it gives a bad impression. And third one is rewarded video ads. After adding advertisement into applications, for showing those advertisements you will get some money from Google AdMobs, and this is how you can start earning. Then you should know how to sign a bundle, APK bundle, because while publishing on the Play Store we need to sign application with a unique key, and then simply you can release your application on Play Store, and this is how Android development process works. On the top of that, I would like to suggest you always maintain your GitHub profile of all your developed applications. To push your project on GitHub, simply go to tools, and from tool menu select VCS, that is version control system, and after clicking on that just click on share project on GitHub, and this is how you can share your project directly on the GitHub from Android Studio. Simply you can do some freelancing and internships to earn money and experience. That's it for this Android development video. If you like the video, then hit that like button